All right, it looks like we are in. Maliv is bringing the Berserker, the Engineer, the Ranger, and Alphen has Totem, Engineer, and the Ranger. So we got Engineer, Ranger both sides here, probably looking to take advantage of kind of the area control that both of those characters bring to the fight. Hey, look, it's Cody. What up? How is it going? I am very well today. We're gonna have a good time today with this casual tournament. Have some regulars here duking it out on this very cluttered battlefield. Got fallen debris, we've got corrosive tiles, we've got half cover. Good stuff. Starting things out with laying down some additional stuff onto the battlefield. We have a totem down on Maliv's side, and then we have a trap down on Alphen's side. Really looking to use that engineer to pull people onto rather unfortunately placed terrain objects here. So this is going to be interesting because it looks like Alphen will be able to use their engineer first. So they might have a pretty good hook coming on here. Depending on where that next chunk of debris falls, it looks like it does fall behind that totem. So not exactly going to hit that. But they have the option of dragging that Berserker or the Ranger actually into either one of those nasty looking tiles there. So we've got the trap, we've got the falling debris. Looks like they are going to choose that trap right there. That does trigger a few support abilities there. And the engineer dishes out a little bit more damage, considering that some offensive reactions are coming from the same row. Alphen's going to switch up the rows to get out of the engineer's way, kind of forcing that engineer to move as well. The other debris is now moving. So we'll see how that affects both parties. And it looks like, unfortunately, that debris is going to fall right on Alphen's engineer. So a little unfortunate bit of RNG there. It looks like Maliv will be able to move out of the way of that falling debris.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Jason. How's it going? It's going good. It's going good so far.
Yeah, looks like Alphen's been dropped into this, having never seen the falling debris before.
It hurts, by the way. And you can see if you hover over. There we go. Oh, I am not getting it because I am a spectator. But if you're in the battle, you can check that out.
Oh, yeah, that should work for you as well, Andrew. So that's my bad if that's not showing up.
Hey, well, now we're learning. We'll make note of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna double check it and make sure it's not user error. Nah, it's not really. We'll write that down somewhere. Oh, is Twitch acting up today? Interesting. Hopefully it's not me. I'm gonna double check and see how things are going here. I don't think I have any drop frames, so.
No, it looks like okay from my end.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Works, it happens. Internet happens. All right, Maliv is making a choice to try to knock out Alphen's engineer here before they get a chance to use that arm hook again, which is probably a pretty good move considering how densely populated this battlefield is right now.
Yep, and yes, Warwick's Alphen is on the right.
Jason, did you just see what happened on my screen?
Oh.
Did you see that it popped up at some point?
The tooltip flash up, yeah.
Yeah, how did that happen? That was interesting. I'm not sure exactly why that happened, but
yeah, I'm fighting the urge to try and debug this now. I'll
not during the match.
I'll see to this later. Yeah.
Oh man. Alvin does look like they're trying to focus down the Berserker as well. Berserker semi-recently had some changes to them, so definitely a force to be reckoned with. Not that they weren't before either, but definitely one to look for, especially in a densely populated battlefield like this. You have less options to move out of the way. You have the Ranger back up. Retrapping. I think I'm seeing where this is gonna go. And luckily enough for Alphen, they have all three characters nicely stacked up. So there is nothing Maliv can do right here to prevent this combo from going off.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Alphen's engineer was going to survive falling debris.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see.
It will be close in any case.
Yeah. Looks like Cody might be having some issues with
yeah,
logins,
I'm on it.
I kind of figured as much. All right, so it looks like, unfortunately for Alphen, that engineer is not going to survive. So, unfortunately, not going to be able to take out that Berserker very soon. However, the Berserker will not be able to move before getting hit by that falling debris. Getting some melee damage in there, but unfortunately paying the price for that due to the Berserker's stance. Berserker is just out of reach of Totem's pressure release area, so trying to get in some damage there to finish them off so they don't get too outclassed by a 3-2 matchup here.
Yeah, Cody, things have changed. There are now all these crazy terrain objects, which have definitely mixed things up a bit. The core gameplay is still probably what you're used to, but
might be a couple of new characters as well, depending on the last time you check things out. All right, Ranger is up. I mean, depending on how much damage they can dish out, they could finish off that Berserker there. Definitely gonna have to move out of the way. And unfortunately, it looks like there are no more places for the Ranger to go that do not involve getting hooked into something nasty. So, yeah, it looks like it's gonna the choice is corrosive right now. However, it is very tempting to hook that totem back into the trap as well. And it looks like that's exactly what Maliv is going to do there. Oof, right down to 1 health, but that doesn't matter because the Ranger will support. So that is just enough to knock out that engineer. It looks like, unfortunately for Alphen, Maliv does have their two characters there, the Ranger and the Berserker, ready to go in the turn order. And the Ranger does not have their evasive stance up, so there's not much they can do at this point. So, hanging on with that 2 health. Valiant effort. Jason, it looks like that falling debris tooltip is coming up. Maybe when it's activating? I don't know. It did it the first time during that turn, but not the second time.
Yeah, it might be in the split second, kind of between turns or something like that, yeah.
All right. And that's the match. All right.
And Maliv is on point with the new dual link. So I guess,
ready to go.
I guess Warwick's is up next while I try and fix things for Cody.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, just let us know when you're both in there. Cody, it's not a problem, seriously. It's all good, just glad to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, man. From way back in the day.
Yeah, Definitely. We have a slightly different setup from last time, maybe. Definitely weren't doing these streams, I think.
No,
if,
Cody
if
was one of the
memory
very first
serves.
people to stream Steamhounds with us, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, just let us know when Warwick's is in there, and then we'll switch on over. Oh, Cody, I wish we could show you other stuff. I wish we could show you some of the stuff that we're working on right now. But yeah, I'm glad that at least you appreciate the stuff we've been able to show, especially with the new characters and terrain and stuff like that. That's been a lot of fun to develop and share with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Orcs, where are you, buddy? Is anybody else I was gonna say, anyone else on deck for a battle?
I suppose we always have Paul in the sidelines. That's always an option.
This is very true. Oh, you joined? Okay, cool. Oh, good. Oh, you're playing now. We're gonna join in real quick then. We're gonna be fast with the commentary. All right. Switch on over. All right. Oop, look at that bounce out of the screen there. Jason, look. I can see all the terrain stuff.
Yeah, so it's supposed to happen in a certain phase of the game. Basically, when it's not your active turn, but I guess when you're spectating, it's kind of a special case.
It fixed itself. It's fine now.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's the worst kind of bug, man.
I'm sorry.
How do you track that down? Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea. Yeah, it looks like
on the plus side, Cody's account is now fixed up, so
yeah,
you should be able to jump in to the next battle.
Heck yeah. All right, looks like Works is focusing down that engineer, and Maliv is going after that warrior. So. Oh, I don't know. Hey, it's how much damage did you miss there? Is it like 2 or 3 Warwicks? I will say 2 or 3 damage does count for a lot in a lot of circumstances, so that's sometimes the break point. So I joke, but for real though. Whew, that engineer is looking a little rough. So it looks like with a pressure release from Warwick, that'll be it.
Going down. Going for the engineer early. Never a bad move, really.
Never a bad move, especially when there's stuff like corrosion and other nasty things going on. Works, I'll call it tournament jitters. 1 HP. Oh man. Man, that's why you gotta go for the pressure release. Well, actually, depending on how much would pressure release have done more damage? I'm not sure. because the engineer has very high elemental defense. So
That's true.
I don't know. I'm sure we could number crunch that real quick, but well, unfortunately for Malieve, it does look like Works' Ranger does have another round, so you can definitely finish off that engineer. But, you know, it costs them another turn to do so, so...
Exactly, it never feels good to spend a whole round to deal 1 HP.
That 1 HP kind of thing. Oh, well, I mean, at the start of the engineer's turn, doesn't it do more damage as well? It should.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, so it should, by the time the engineer got around to their turn, they should have taken more damage. So yeah, because the pressure release procs at the beginning of their turn. I'm pretty sure. I just want to go into this UI real quick. Where is it? There we go. Hello. Pressure release. So 4 plus 7. However, we have to take advantage of the elemental defense, which is minus 40%. Yeah. Yes, 2 prototypes. 2 new characters in there. That number might change in a little while. Who knows? Cooking up some new stuff.
Yeah, and people have integrated them into their play pretty well. Like, they see a good amount of use, I think.
Yeah, we got our 6 prototype here, Totem, used fairly regularly now as well.
Our initial expectation with these is that we throw them out there and then like cycle them out, and they'd need like big changes, and they wouldn't really last for too long. But so far, both the prototypes which you put out have kind of, people have adopted them, and they've been built into people's strategies, and they've, you know, they're kind of in there now.
Yeah, they've like been relatively stable as well. Nothing has been too completely broken on the initial kind of release as well. So I think we've done a fairly decent job at balancing these. So that was the initial concern, was when we dropped stuff in terms of how relatively quickly we've been releasing these in the recent future or recent past. There would be an issue with balancing, but it seems to have been absolutely fine so far. So we'll keep on dropping new characters for the time being. So. All right,
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
About using 7 in a lineup, what are your thoughts on what does 7 work well with?
7 works really well. There has been a combo with the warrior in terms of how their stances interact. I like 7 for that. I also like 7 with the chemist as well, considering how high impact that character can be in certain lineups. Both of their focus abilities are very powerful. So definitely, like, that's kind of the combo that when I think we were initially looking at, like, oh, when we make this character, what kind of setup do you think they would fit into? Like, my mind immediately went to warrior and chemist. But there's definitely other options. Definitely another option could be using them in combination with 2 lighter characters, a couple of squishier types characters with lower HP. So you can try to get off as many combos with those 2 lighter characters as much as you can without really worrying about their health for the time being. So
yeah, I suppose the main issue there is then keeping character 7 fresh with the whole fatigue mechanic, right?
Yeah, that is an issue at some point. So that's generally why we pick the warrior as kind of like the support tank, kind of the off tank sometimes, and then they can take over. You shove character 7, otherwise known as Shio, behind the warrior on occasion to remove some of those stacks of fatigue. So you can kind of get them back in the front lines. And as well, if you use the chemist, you have the opportunity to heal them back up as well, because while Shio does have some healing capabilities, they can't target themselves really with it. It definitely makes a big difference if you can start healing up that tankier character. So on a character that has high amounts of armor, it definitely helps to be able to heal them, because that health will go a longer way than healing up a squishier character.
Mm-hmm. And another one of the reasons we chose one of Character 7's focus abilities is because in the meta at that point, the strategy of putting people in a straight line was very popular. There are a lot of kind of strategies around that. So if your opponent's doing that, Character 7 with their focus, which damages everyone in that row, is a really good direct counter to that.
Exactly. This fight is actually a little bit closer than it seems right now, even though Warx does have 3 characters up. 2 of them are on a knife's edge.
Yeah. If only Miliv had that focus on the Ranger, then a nice explosive round would
that would be
make a big impact here.
Particularly devastating. But it looks like Miliv is about to pick off 2 characters really quick here. So it looks like we're probably, if everything goes the way I think it's going to go, it looks like we're going to be down to a Warrior versus Ranger setup.
Or Berserker versus Ranger.
Or, sorry, Berserker. Sorry. My bad. Berserker versus Ranger right here. All right, Warx' Ranger does have that last one standing bonus up first, as well as that bonus damage from their support. So we'll see what happens here. All right, definitely use that quick shot to take out the Ranger. We've got an evasive stance on that Ranger, and we have the Berserker up as well. Still has that bonus damage from their stance. So if they get into contact right here, they're going to be doing some decent damage.
Yep.
But there's always that risk. So Miliv can always focus up in order to have a 100% chance of hitting. But it looks like they're just going to go for it, and I think that's what it's going to have to take here. Warx does have 2 rounds with that Ranger in a row, so they're going to be taking some decent damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, stance-wise, the Berserker really has nothing to play with here.
Yes. Really, it's only Intimidate, but they can only really cash that in on their turn. So, all right, and that's going to be it. That got really, really close. A couple more Berserker swings, and that would have been it. But, you know, what happens?
GG. So next, I guess we have Warx and Cody, right? No pressure, Cody. This is all for fun. You got to get back into the game. That's fine. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it. See if anything stands out to you. Checking out the new character abilities. Any strats you want to kind of play around with. It's going to take time to get into it and get into the zone. But that's all good.
Oh, we're doing AI? Yeah, go after the AI. That's fine. We'll see if someone else can hop in if they want to.
So we're looking at Warx and Elephant, maybe?
Yeah, no pressure, Cody. Definitely got other people who can pop in.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this format, right? We can...
Something's always going on.
Yeah. Big question is, how's your battle going against the AI? Some of the old strategies definitely still work.
Yeah.
It's just you have to pay attention to the terrain objects now. I think it's normally fairly obvious how you need to react to those, but you just have to be on the ball, like situationally, turn by turn.
Yep. All right, which one of these dual links are people are gonna join here? We've got 2 of them in the chat. All right, one got deleted, so I think I know which one we're doing.
Yeah, these streams are stressful for me because I have an incredibly squeaky chair that I'm sitting on right now. So I'm always trying.
I can't hear anything, so.
Well, that's because I'm trying very, very hard.
Okay.
Intense concentration. I'm one of those people who has a habit of like leaning back, like really
Okay.
outrageously on their chair, like to a dangerous extent.
Oh man. All right, I'm trusting that people have joined this dual link, so I'm gonna boot it up. There we go. That's what I want to see. Join a spectator, please. Jason, do you know if Maliv is joining us today?
In voice, do you mean?
No, I mean like in the tournament, or tournament quote. I'm not 100% sure. It says that they're streaming stuff. It says playing Steamhounds, so I didn't want to be like skipping over Maliv in the rotation if she was actually going to play.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough.
All right, we've got the corrosive zone here. Everyone wants to stay out of that back column as much as possible. But we have 2 engineers on the field, so you never know what can happen here. All right, delaying that turn. Definitely looking for some kind of setup here.
Will the Warriors' shove ability come into play here, I wonder?
Ooh. I see focus. I do see focus. This is going to get dangerous.
Both players also supporting the engineer here, so they have arm hook options available to them.
Arm hook, shove, a lot of tile and positioning manipulation there. All right,
Yeah.
you see the first one into the goop.
I mean, Warwick's has gone all in with a positional with the totem as well.
Yeah, exactly. And now we see why that delay turn was used there, opening up the most opportune placement of that totem.
Yeah, that was a really nice little.
Very well done.
There. Separating the chemist from boosting the warrior.
Yep, not protected anymore.
Yeah, so much utility there in pushing them back.
Let's see what Alphen can do here. Focused up on 2 out of 3 characters, so definitely got a lot of, I'll call it potential energy in there. So let's see if the characters can survive long enough in order to use that. See another delay turn here. All right, we're healing up. Got to counteract at that goop. Oh, yeah, I'm just looking at the chat right now. I don't know if we had like an escape menu when Cody last played, did we?
Maybe not. Like
that's the thing.
Definitely
It's
something
like,
that.
It seems like an obvious thing, but you know, when you've got so many things to implement, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh, I guess we need one of those now.
Yeah, I'll just restart the game every time I want to leave a
Alt
battle.
F4, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Because I think at least one point when you Alt F4, it would just reboot up the game again, depending on how you had it set up. So.
Yeah, that's true. Or definitely, we had a build for conventions that would do that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, moving people around in turn order yet again. So it looks like Works is going to be able to get their engineer moving before Alphens at this point.
Works. What's happening?
Whoa! All right. Oh man, push them off of the screen at that point. Nasty. See, this is the pressure of wearing the crown. So you are king of the hill right now. So don't get tilted. It's gonna get you. All right, slowly pulling some people back. Got to get them in line. So I think I know what Works is going to do here, and that's actually a relatively interesting strategy. All right, we got a stun, and that shoves back the chemist back one round in turn order, allowing Totem to get off another ability before that chemist can go.
He's turned the mistake into a strategy.
Yeah, happy accidents. Happy little mistakes. Hey, you gotta be in the moment. You gotta use that as much to your advantage as possible. Oof. Looking a little rough for the chemist right now.
Yeah, with that poison stack as well.
Yes, definitely. It's going to be interesting. Question is whether Works is going to finish off that chemist now, or depending on how the order of those those status effects get triggered.
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely something we need to maybe account for a bit more specifically.
I mean, just dev speak talking right now, it seems to me that the logical order would be the first aid kit because it's at the top. And it looks like that's what it's gonna do.
That may well be what happens. Yep.
It worked. So maybe a potential misplay on the pressure release there. Yeah, no. So
yeah, I'll have to check the code whether that's truly random or whether it does go top to bottom.
I mean, I think it shouldn't be random personally, but
I think either top to bottom makes sense, or maybe just a rule like healing always comes first, or positive effects before negative ones.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. All right, it looks like Alphen's going to switch over to that healing stance in basically a bid to try to heal up before getting overwhelmed by the second half of that pressure release. So switching over to that stance might force Works to use the engineer use a turn of the engineer in order to finish off that chemist once and for all there.
Yep, and that's no small thing. Yeah, chemist MVP.
Chemist is hanging in there. It's becoming a really big thorn in Works' side at this point. Oof. That Vigor Potion coming into play. Alphen kind of stuck there with that warrior since they really don't want to move anywhere else because they can get arm hooked back by the engineer into that nasty poison.
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to go for it anyway.
Having that totem behind them is not such a bad thing in some sense.
Yeah, definitely. So they could easily get arm hooked here, but depending on how things shake out, they might be able to survive the big damage from the arm hook and at least the first bit of that poison. We'll see how much damage the arm hook really does, though. That's one way that they could do it, or they could, use a turn to try to finish off that chemist. So,
I mean, Elephant's also in Sentinel stance rather than guard, so that may be an extra little bit of damage from the arm hook.
All right, looks like we're gonna arm hook right there, and definitely finish off that chemist. Whatever you do, don't tell Warwick who you're rolling with. All right, get that focus ability going there. So it looks like Alphen is going to have to attempt to knock out as many ranged characters, ranged damage dealers that Warwick has as possible. Getting down to a 1v1 situation between the warrior and the engineer is not a terrible situation for Alphen to be in. So that's what at least in my opinion, that's probably one of the safest bets we can have here. However, Warwick does have 3 characters up and also has 2 rounds with Totem up, coming up pretty much immediately. So they're gonna have to figure out how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Warwick's, Cody's coming for you.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, if Alphen had focus on the engineer at this point, they'd be in a much stronger position. But as it is now, it's very, very sketchy.
Oh, Warwick's. Oh, wait. He was poisoned.
Those 2 turns, yeah, I completely blanked on the poison there.
Poison happened. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here we go.
This is Elephant.
Oh, man, what is happening here? Looks like we might get down into that 1v1 situation at some point.
Mm-hmm. Sentinel, a good move as well. The warrior can't really do too much to get around that.
Alphen just biding their time here. Could get into an interesting situation as well with a recent change that we made, which could totally lock Warwick's down depending on how things go.
Yeah, good point.
Depending on how this works. It's a lot of things going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, the change we made recently actually gives Engineer some pretty beastly damage output in the right situation.
Yeah, definitely in the right situation. But the thing is, you got to remember is that if the warrior does get spiked and the engineer continues to levitate, it's not going to go off at all. It'll never go off because the warrior won't be able to target. So, all right, here we go. We start to dish out a little bit of damage, slowly but surely. Yeah, it looks like Alphen needs to go on a more aggressive and less control-y kind of strategy here. Because every time they use levitation, they start taking more and more damage. So they're not really working against Warwick's at this point. They're working against the clock. So they have to figure out, what they can do in order to get out as much damage as possible.
Yeah, exactly. So how much damage will Elephant be taking on the next levitation proc? Okay, so they've budgeted quite well through the rest of the battle.
Yep.
They didn't use that early, so they're in a strong position here.
All right, it looks like Alphen does have last one standing though, which that 40% damage bonus suddenly makes some of their abilities a little bit more attractive as opposed to just using the focus ability. So is that are one of the non-focus abilities going to be enough to knock them out? Ooh. Taking a little bit of strength there. Woo, that was almost some hubris.
Yeah.
Could have easily done a ranged attack at that point, but hey, just make it sting a little bit more.
a bit of swagger there from Elephant. I think that was.
Yeah, it's just gonna stroll right on up to the warrior and be like, hey.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh man, out of nowhere.
Cool. So, do we want to have Cody roll in next against Elephant, and then Malieve can jump in after that?
Yeah, let's do that.
That was great. Like that was a very interesting kind of end game there.
Oh man, exciting fight. Quickly went from a 3v2 to a 1v2 to 2v1 on the other side. So
yeah, it was that poison lingering on character 6. They just had 2 turns coming up. That would have definitely turned things around. But
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody's in. We get to watch.
Okay, looks like they're in.
Back from extended hiatus. All right. Like we are in here. And then we'll switch out.
We're distracting more externally.
Well, there's 2 things we can do. You can listen to us give you strategies, or you can focus. Both have their ups and downs.
Yeah, I don't know to what extent we're giving strategies to most of these players here today. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Most of these players are very, very good at what they do. So better than a lot of us sometimes. Yeah, Jason, I saw you drinking water during the coding stream. I'm like, man,
yeah.
I really need to work on my hydration. So my partner has this giant 48-ounce water bottle. So I've been trying to drink 2 of these a day.
What is that, like one liter or?
So 48 ounces is about 1.5 liters. That's 14. Okay. It's 1,400 milliliters. So I've been trying to drink 3 liters a day. I don't know what I was drinking before, but sure as heck wasn't that.
Yeah, I think that's about the recommended amount, right?
That's exactly why I that's exactly why I decided not to try to get a different water bottle. I can just have 2 of these. I don't know, being able to see exactly like a progress bar basically has been gamify everything. It works on me at least, so you might see me lean back every once in a while and hopefully not and hopefully not have a water malfunction at some point. It's got quite a large mouth opening, so
okay, so Cody's going for Totem, Berserker, and Engineer, so definitely some positional control stuff here, which is going to be quite useful with that. Quite useful with the corrosive tile right next to the cover. It's going to be handy for them, and I feel like they've essentially forced Elephant out of the cover for that exact reason.
Yeah, we've kind of got like a symmetrical thing going on right here with totem placement. And we're going to see which player can incentivize which other player to move out of there as much as possible. I will say Cody's use of the Berserker right now is definitely a very good reason to move Totem out of there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Berserker is on their counter-attack stance right now.
Yeah,
like
so
some early tunnel vision on the on Totem here would be pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. Tunnel vision, even if well, the thing is, it's interesting.
There's still things they can do with delay turn and stuff. If they want to go for that approach.
It's definitely so definitely tunnel vision works, but even in this circumstance, Cody can definitely use that. I mean, that extra 7 damage is nice. Extra 7 damage from their stance is definitely something that it's not a small amount. So while indeed I do agree that tunnel vision might have been a little bit more opportune, there are small advantages at some points.
Yeah. I mean, you can't always predict that they would have ended up in front of Totem. So the counterattack stance is definitely a safe opening gambit here.
All right, having a hard think right now. I believe Totem is brand new for Cody. So I will, if Cody is listening, I will remind them that there is a turn timer. But it looks like they have figured out what they want to do there, getting a nice little pressure release out. Looks like Cody is going to try to focus down that engineer. So we'll see how that goes. To unleash the berserker.
Yeah, no worries, Cody. Take your time. The turn timer is there for a reason. If you want to use it all, then use it all.
No. I use it all. Just remember that if you miss the turn, you miss the turn. So
it happens so much when we're playtesting. When
it's not for it's not for our benefit. It's for your benefit. I just wanted to remind you that it existed. I wasn't aware if you knew that because I don't remember when we added that turn timer. But I mean, I think it was relatively early on that we added the turn timer, but all right, we got some bleed going on. Seeing more and more pressure releases. Kind of a symmetrical pressure release output. Considering the placement of the totem way back in the back column, not as ideal as it could be, but in terms of the layout of this battlefield, that's kind of as best as you're going to get at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the one point of the totem there is to push people out of the cover tile, but the presence of the engineer is probably enough to do that.
Definitely.
By itself. Okay, Elephant's going to do something intentional. they're being obscure. They're dropping obscure hints in the Discord chat. We shall.
Oh boy, I'm not paying attention to Discord chat right now, so this is gonna be fun. Some master stroke is gonna happen. Been a lot of focus going on, so I always get a little bit wary whenever I see focus being saved up. All right, getting that disruptor blade in there. All right, pulling them up. I think I see what's happening. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Another very dangerous engineer going on right here.
Yeah, that Elephant engineer already down to... Is that just 11 health there?
I don't want to say anything because I think there's a way to play around what Elephant is doing, but... I'm going to wait until Cody's turn is over. I'm curious now.
They're doing a pretty good job of grinding down both the warrior and...
Yeah, I mean, they're low health. Very low health right now, so... Ooh, this is an interesting one. Maybe not what Alphen was planning, but a viable alternative. Yep, there we see it. Ugh. I would say that's worth it, though. I definitely think that's worth it.
Unfortunately, the totem placement not in Cody's favor right here. They'd need another turn to, even though they're focused up, their focus ability isn't going to do them much good right now.
Yep. All right, let's see what this Berserker can do.
Seeing some delay turn action here.
Delay turn going on. I'm just going to double check the wording on something. Yeah, it's interesting. So, arm hook technically could have been used to pull the Berserker back up. So I think what Elephant was planning to do is push the Berserker all the way back into the corrosive tile.
Yeah,
so,
looks like it.
Yeah, so Cody could have actually just pulled the Berserker right back up in front of that half cover. Kind of negating that a little bit, but, things happen. This basically allowed that Berserker to survive a little bit while longer, so. Seen a lot of totem turns coming up. So we'll see what happens in terms of placement or just using, Disruptor Blade or anything like that. So we see another totem placement here. And it looks like... Ooh, all right, so we got a little bleed damage in there. A little bit of a tense fight right now.
Yeah, this is coming down to it.
All right, they are going to activate that shock module. So, all right, Cody, you know what to do. You've got this. Do it. Yeah, we've done it. Big damages. Unfortunately, not quite enough to knock people completely back into turn order, but, a good amount of AoE never hurt anybody. Well, actually, it did hurt these people, but
yeah,
not a bad strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the engineer was going to go down there.
Very close. I think it has to do with that RNG a little bit. The thing is, I don't know how many times Levitation has been used. So I don't know if that's going to be 2 or 3 damage. But, boy. That is just the first time, actually. So that was only 1 damage there on overheating. And that's going to do it. Pretty close, though. Pretty close. I mean, for not playing in a while, Cody, that was actually really good. Not bad at all. I believe he's ready to go. Yeah, Cody, so I think something that could have changed the course of that battle is in the very beginning, choosing the tunnel vision stance instead of intimidate could have definitely changed that outcome. But yeah, it's really that's like a small change, and but those little tiny things at the beginning of the fight can really change kind of the course of the battle. So otherwise, like, really well played, definitely.
Yeah, the strategy was solid. It came down to like the optimization, which is, that's the final kind of level. But the basic setup absolutely worked there.
Yep,
and if
totally.
if that engineer had been taken out by the system overload, that probably would have gone the other way. So it came down to potentially, like 2 HP or something.
Yeah, it was really close. If Totem only had, or excuse me, if these characters only had like a couple less health, then it would have definitely been a slightly different fight, I think. So, all right, Malieve, let us know when everybody's in.
By the way, I also lost connection right at the end of that bout, so I didn't see exactly how it panned out in the last turn there.
Let's just say there was it's a big fireball finish. So
Aha.
24 damage from a single fire lance. So that did a lot of damage at that point. I don't want to join without knowing if they're already ready to go, so they're either Ali or Malieve. If you can let me know if you're in there. Awesome.
Oh, sorry, Ali. I think we may have we may have
Whoop!
unfairly unseated you there.
Oh no!
Yeah, it looks like Malieve and Cody are in this one.
Okay. Ali, you can get the next one in. Cody's out for vengeance. Our bad.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
we'll
It's always
there.
cool to see different combinations of folks.
Yep, totally. All right, Jason, do you think you can comment this one? I'm going to step away for a moment.
Okay, if my connection holds up, I will do my best.
All right. They will still be able to hear you.
Okay, now I'm feeling Wox's pain. I'm watching this like super blurry, low resolution. So, Berserker on both sides, falling debris all over the place. And also plenty of cover. Totem is already down to 8 HP. Yeah, this is fast. In fact, I missed that entire opening. That was so fast. Totem can be fairly squishy, so they're definitely a vulnerable character in the opening. Cody is set up with focus on the engineer, so they have a chance to fight back with some heavy damage from Fire Lance potentially. Okay, full disclosure, I'm now trying to commentate by refreshing the Twitch page and getting still frames of the stages of the battle, probably about 30 seconds delayed, so you have to excuse me there. Cody's Berserker definitely in a difficult spot. Yeah, the trap and falling debris combo is pretty brutal. Yeah, I think arm hook may even have worked differently in a previous version. I think there was maybe a point in time when it was random which direction people went in. But you can now definitely pick any of the northeast, southwest directions there.
Yeah, also, I miss whatever happened there, but also for arm hook, you can also target your own characters as well, so you can get a little tricky sometimes.
Yeah, it's sometimes possible to escape danger. You'll deal a bit of damage to your teammate, but you can potentially pull them out of harm's way. Something I was always excited when first creating that ability to see people do, and it very rarely happens, but when it does, it's a satisfying moment.
All right, Maliv pulling no punches here.
Yeah, these battlefields are definitely tricky to work with. RNG also plays a factor here more than it would otherwise.
Cody, that's nonsense. It's a lot of you did absolutely fine in your matches. It's just it's a lot of information to a lot of new information to kind of internalize at some point. So it just has to do with watching how people play, seeing what the meta is, how to play against that, and also just there's been a lot of changes in a lot of these patches to characters toolkits, so things are definitely new almost all the time. So
yeah, so many new things. You kind of just have to pick something which seems like a good synergy to you and try and make it work. But people have worked out to a certain extent not just what team comps are good and what are good synergies, but what works on different kinds of layouts, like the more restricted layouts or the more kind of open ones. Yeah, I mean, we add all this stuff to give people more stuff to wrestle with, right? So they don't feel like they've solved the game. You keep piling more stuff in there, and
all right.
seat of the pants, like and reactive.
Oh, I think you're coming in and out, Jason, on occasion. So. Working on player strategies into the AI. That hasn't really been a focus as of late. But definitely for some of the stuff that we're working on, that is going to eventually come into play. So definitely at some point, we'll have to take a look at the AI, because we definitely want them to use combos just like a real player does. And a lot of synergies and all those types of things. That's the goal. But yeah, that's put that on the stack with a lot of the other stuff that we're working on right now. But yeah, so I believe we have Maliv and Allie. I think. I hope. Oh, Allie, I don't know if Jason's still in the chat, but Jason, does that sound like a coding challenge to you?
Oh yeah, I'll do that in 3 hours on a Friday evening. No problem. I mean, it's
part one of
it's the
500.
kind of it's the kind of yeah, it's the kind of thing that those kind of AI techniques could potentially be applied to. Like the hard thing is getting enough data because we have a few
Yeah.
people playing every couple of weeks, but the volume of data we need to train an AI, I think, is more than that. So if our Discord increases by a couple orders of magnitude, then maybe that's something we can do.
Can't you just have them, rock'em sock'em robots against each other for a really long time?
Yeah, I suppose maybe there's something we can do around that. Like we do have like automated AI versus AI battles for flushing out bugs and stuff. So maybe we could try and train them. Yeah. Honestly, the AI's kind of been on the back burner as we've been focusing on the player versus player stuff, but a lot of the behind the scenes stuff going on is also looking at single player modes, shall we say. So that's definitely something we're going to need to return to and put more effort into in the near future. Yeah, Cody, that's definitely true. Like we feel like the positional aspects and the stances are always what we really liked. So these terrain objects have really opened things up almost overnight to sort of bring that to a whole new level. I think like it's just way more in depth, and just the number of combinations and situations you can find yourself in is pretty much endless now.
All right, I'm going to trust that this battle has started, so I'm going to click on this button here. And I'm correct. There we go. Spectator mode, hoy. All right. Got 2 half cover zones. Let's see how these players use the half cover and work around. Well, Maliv does have the engineer right there, so definitely a way to work around there. All right, stunning that Berserker, trying to push them back as far in the turn order as possible. Not a bad strategy, since considering the Berserker right now is in a less than opportune area, considering their current stance and positioning. However, there are ways around that, so we'll see if Maliv picks up on that one. If you can't get the Berserker to get in the right place, you could get people in the right place for the Berserker. All right, we do have a warrior with a vigor potion right now. Trying to figure out exactly what we want to do. Going to inspire on the chemist. Opening up the door to a couple of strategies here. Flame Flask is always pretty good. However, healing has been used pretty recently, actually, in a few situations that could help out Aliphin, depending on who gets targeted here for damage. All right, trap combo into a Berserker, tunnel vision, dealing an absolute immense amount of damage with the Ranger. Early knockout from Maliv here.
Yeah, Miliv's being really harsh on totems in the last couple of battles.
I mean, totem is can be particularly brutal in a lot of these situations, so I really don't blame her. So. Delaying turn there on that Berserker. Allowing Alphen to use that Flame Flask early. Ali might have had to switch their target now that the Berserker has delayed their turn. A really good target would have been that Berserker after they had moved, since it would have been a really long time until the Berserker would have been able to move again. So putting that Flame Flask down on that Berserker would have been pretty opportune, I would say. So just trying to work around the turn order in order to benefit them the most at this point.
Yeah, if that was Maliv's train of thought, then that was a pretty smart counter to that, I think, forcing the fire onto the engineer, who's got the strong elemental defense.
Yep. Still got that Vigor Potion here, but the warrior is starting to take some bleed damage. Focusing up as well. Bleed is no longer in effect. At this point, every piece of health is incredibly important, especially on that warrior. We see another pull here. Warrior can't protect against range attacks, so unfortunately, we're going to see another one of those huge combos.
Hey, welcome back, Cody. Yeah, the arm hook into the eye of the Berserker's tunnel vision is always quite satisfying as well. I love that little interaction.
All right, opting to move back out of that half cover, considering that the warrior doesn't have any more ranged attacks. So getting that shoulder-to-shoulder bonus to get a little bit extra damage out there is going to help Maliv.
Oh, Alphen's just cottoned on to a strategy they could have used. I'd be interested to hear what your
I'm curious.
counter
Let us
to this
know.
would be.
Oof. Look at all those status effects on that warrior.
Just about overflowing.
Yep. Critical mass. Well, at least we can get some... Go ahead.
I was going to say I'm quite proud of that little UI widget for the characters. I'm not a designer, but that's something I kind of... we made that work. But yeah, if you have too many status effects, it just kind of doesn't gracefully handle those, so...
Yep. Oof. Quite an attack there. 28 damage coming out of the warrior is pretty high, so... Fortunately, it looks like Maliv is probably going to be able to chip down that warrior just from, even though the warrior is in sentinel stance. I take a little bit damage on that Berserker, but the Berserker was at full health, so that's going to be it.
Oof.
All right. Yeah, you could definitely step on that trap to stop the entire chain from happening. Definitely. That is definitely an option here.
Okay. Are we back around to Warwick's, maybe? Trying to counter this, mate?
Yeah, I'm up for that. All right. Let's generate that dual link, and then we'll join up. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Who won that fight?
So Malieve won there.
Yeah, so Malieve, if you want to get in there again.
Yeah, we kind of broke the system and kicked Elephant off their
We did.
their throne. So sorry about that, but we'll try and stick to the
yeah.
system now. Has Cody hijacked the duel?
Wanting to play is not a bad thing. Hijacking these duels, though.
Maybe that should be the system. Like,
whoever gets in first.
Yep. Jump on that, I believe.
Yep. So, Jason, I seem to have a lot of points in chat built up. So, what is this coding battle that we have here? This coding battle button.
Okay, yeah. So we have a few. So we have these channel points now that we got reached our Twitch affiliate status.
Yep.
So I had a few ideas for the kind of cool, interesting things that are specific to the different streams we do. So the coding battle. So there is a website where you can basically jump on board and you get grouped with a bunch of people and it gives you a little coding challenge, like a little puzzle to solve. You can pick your language and there's like a timer that counts down, and it's, in theory, it's a race to kind of see who can do it the quickest.
Yep. Okay.
But it doesn't need to be super competitive. You can also just see everyone else's solutions to the problem. So it's a good little training practice thing. You know, it takes 5 or 10 minutes to do. So the idea is that if somebody has accrued enough channel points and they're watching the coding stream, they can. Oh, Cody has subbed. This is our first. This is our first.
Whoa! What is that?
I think that's officially our first.
All right.
Crit sub.
Thank you very much, Cody.
It's a special day.
Special day, our first sub. Hooray! Now I'm curious. If I'm curious, I wasn't actually looking at the preview right there, so I don't know if the sub animation came up. Because I have it set up on mine, but technically since I'm streaming like through the Stray Basilisk channel, I don't think... Oh, it did come up? Hey, look at that! Hey, great.
Nice.
As long as the animation came up, that's cool. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to see it in action. Okay, cool. So we saw the little animation of one of the characters pop up.
Oh no, I think that was maybe something in the chat. So maybe the overlay in the stream itself was not.
Okay. Okay, so...
How to clip? It's bottom right of the player, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Woo, subs. Overwhelming confetti.
Yeah, so that coding challenge thing, the idea is somebody can click that and I drop what I'm doing and do one of these little coding challenges. They're kind of like the things you get in an interview for a coding job. They can be
Gotcha.
a fun
Okay.
little distraction. Some of the other ones we've got is for our Stray Basilisk game night. We have the select a strat option, where the idea is that if somebody catches that in, then they can say, hey, you should pick this character or this faction or this strategy or whatever makes sense in whatever we're playing. So they can make a major decision about that kind of thing. Oh, coding stream is every Friday at 6:30 or 7-ish UK time. We have a whole load of stuff archived for that as well, so it
Yeah, you
should
can
be
definitely
on
check those out.
our Twitch. Yep. Yeah, the idea of the coding stream is we do a new project every week. So yeah, there should be a ping in the Discord. It should go into the main tavern channel. And I normally then post a GIF of like the result. We try to do like a visual little game or a little graphical thing. So I normally post a GIF to our Twitter and to the Discord with that and the link to the recording of the whole stream so people can check those out. Definitely open to suggestions about topics for that as well.
Yeah, we do a little voting system on Twitter as well. So you usually have like 3 different options in terms of subjects, and then you decide what Jason is going to do. Although Jason might hijack at one point to get his Peggle clone done.
I really want to do it.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have everyone muted, which is fair enough. We want to try and make sure we don't spam people too much with stuff, but we have too much cool stuff to announce.
We try. we try to not spam too much, but I think we'll figure it out one day. What the perfect amount of spam is.
So now we have a sub. We need sub rewards and stuff, right? I don't think we actually have anything.
Emotes.
Up. We need emotes.
Oh man, I know. Malieve has a lot of those, so maybe we can have a little chat because we are very much Twitch newbies. So.
Oof, GG.
All right. Good job, guys.
Are we back around to Cody at this point?
I think so. Maybe.
No, I mean, Cody, we really appreciate the support you gave us like super early on. So
yeah, that was
we have
really
not forgotten.
Oh man, you've got a nice little like icon too, the first. That's really nice. All right. I think Cody's back up actually, so if you're up to it.
Cool. Cody and Warix. Yeah, Cody, we'd offer to coach you against Warix, but none of us have a particularly good track record on that front either.
See, what you can do is whenever we have like a tournament, like a formal one, you can go back into the tournament archive and go and see every time Warwick's lost. and then go watch those fights. That's one thing you can do. Oh, man. Was Cody's first match against Warwick's today as well? I'm trying to remember.
Let me check back. I think it may have been Ali.
Oh, it might have been Ali. Okay.
Yep.
All right, we're in.
Cool. Yep. GG's, believe.
All right.
How about totem placement here?
That's interesting because depending on when... Okay, well, we're going to put it right there. So as of right now, everybody is in range of that totem. At least for a while now. It's a good placement if Cody wants to shock the warrior for a little while, because the warrior is not going to be able to move for quite a bit, actually. It looks like that's what they're going to do. The Warwick's right now is very, very much encouraged by the game to move out of that tile, considering they are in range of the totem, and also if they don't move right now, they're going to get hit by some falling debris. So odds are they're going to move up. Whether or not that's in front of the ranger or just in the front row, it's a whole nother thing. Unfortunately for totem, that's not a really great place for them to be. Usually they want to be behind the warrior or anywhere where they get some kind of cover, but Force is a little bit of a pickle in terms of positioning right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they can, unless they stay right there, there's no way they can keep that sentinel covering both of their characters.
Yep. Definitely.
Not to mention the falling debris threat on Warwick's totem.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay. I wonder if maybe Warwick's will aim to shift the warrior up and let the ranger fend for themselves. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe, depending on if Warwick switches on over to that evasive stance. All right, opting to move right next to that totem. Definitely out of the way.
Out of the way of the corrosive tile.
Yes, yeah. that would have been particularly devastating.
This might be an opportunity for that magnetic spike on the warrior there, considering they maybe want to move anyway.
Could be, yeah. Actually, yeah. Wouldn't be bad. Whoop, defense break. Defense break definitely good against the warrior, kind of dragging down their defensive capabilities a little bit, and that's because that's kind of their bread and butter. So allows them to take more damage from just about everybody here. Let's see where this falling debris goes. All right, right on top of that ranger. It looks like the ranger is going to be able to move out of the way in time, but they're definitely going to have to move.
Yep. I mean, generally, the Ranger moving one tile is not going to make a huge difference to them
That's correct.
compared to some other characters.
Well, considering
Cody's
at
really
the...
been,
Yeah.
Cody's really been forced to try and grind down the warrior here. I feel like
Yeah.
Totem and Ranger are too fast, too evasive that there wasn't much of a choice there.
Yeah, I think Cody can definitely take out that warrior. They try to focus them down. They're definitely going to have to pay a price, though, considering looking at the health of their totem as well as the engineer. And speaking of paying a price, definitely took a third of the health of that Berserker off to do a little bit of damage to the warrior, but it looks like that's probably going to make a pretty big difference. Focusing up there. Right, that warrior's definitely taking quite a bit of damage. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, Warwick, you're very much I don't know, inclined to take out Cody's totem as fast as possible here in order to keep that warrior alive. Considering the defense break has brought down their defenses a little bit more, so they can take even less hits than before from that totem right now. It looks like the warrior will take an additional 4 damage. But we'll see if Warwick's Ranger can finish off Cody's totem here.
Yeah, it looks like if they spend the turn doing it, then
oh my
goodness,
goodness,
to take them out. Spoke too soon. Oh,
spoke too soon. However, the warrior is down to 2 health though, so that's not the worst in the world. 2 health is better than no health. But Warwick will have to take a turn to knock out Cody's totem right here. Otherwise, they would have been forced to take a system overload, which would not have been very good right here.
Yep. Interestingly, Oric still without a totem down on the field.
Yeah, definitely. Usually the only time that, personally that I've done that is ultra aggro kind of strategies where I'm just looking to get the most tunnel vision procs as possible. Otherwise, I usually put that totem down as soon as possible. Thing is, there's not a lot of super opportune places to put that totem right now, considering where Cody's engineer is placed.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, comboing the melee attack with the ranger is definitely good. So, yeah, that's definitely a good strategy.
So I think if Cody had used the arm hook right there, they might have been in a slightly better position with their engineer's health. They would probably been able to take the warrior out without taking the brunt of the sentinels.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that arm hook does do damage. It doesn't just only pull people out of the way, so you can get a little bit of chip damage in there, which would have been just enough to take out that warrior in this particular circumstance. Yeah, it might seem like a small thing, but health does add up. So these little tiny things, trying to use as many attacks in the character's toolkit as possible that have slightly different bonuses attached to them. So range damage does help out a lot, and especially against the warrior with Sentinel stance.
Yeah.
All right, moving back behind half cover. That Berserker is looking mighty prickly right now.
Okay, Ali's got an interesting question here. Yeah, maybe it'd be worth making ranged melee more prominent when using an ability.
Yeah.
In terms of how they're shown in the UI, I think that's definitely something we could do. And reworking some of this UI is definitely on the cards.
Oh yes, definitely. So yeah, right now we have a lot of this information shown underneath the name of the ability, but it's, you know, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement in terms of how like this core key information is shown to the player, especially since stuff like range, single target, physical, they're the same color as the icon, which is all the same color anyway. So we might want to switch up that stuff a little bit in terms of how it's shown. Yeah, that's definitely in the cards, a UI overhaul. So yeah, we've been thinking about that for a while, and it's super important. Like this widget is particularly important here because you get almost all of your information about characters this way. So
it ties into the other discussions about having clearer tags and descriptors for certain effects and abilities.
Yes, definitely. Keywords, etc., all that kind of thing.
The other thing is the preview of damage when you hover over or target somebody with an ability before you actually click the button and fire it off. That's something we'd, in the near future, keep an eye out for changes to make that hopefully more useful to people.
Yeah, repercussions of ability uses are interesting because basically what we have to do is show... We have to do the calculations first as well to see what the combo is going to be. Then we have to show that to the player as well. So I don't know if there's some calculations that have to go on in the background. But yeah, that's more of a question for Jason, how to show that.
Yeah, so we've lent away from trying to show the entire resulting combo of an attack because one, it could just get crazy, and secondly, you know, anticipating that is part of the skill of the game. So I think there's maybe a balance. We want to make things transparent, but I'm not sure where that specifically would fall. But in terms of secondary effects of your initial attack or like immediate reactions to that, I think that's something we probably do want to show a bit better, especially things like the Berserker's attack, which will make them take damage as well. Like we want to show that damage up front. Combos also sometimes have random elements to them, so there are different ways they could go. So we'd end up drawing a whole big branching tree of how
huge grid
your attack might resolve. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you just see this that damage that came off of the Berserker.
Ooh.
Down to 5 right there. We got some bleed going on as well. Unfortunately, it looks like Cody has a rough decision now whether or not they want to stay behind that half cover and take the damage from the falling debris, or they can move out of the way. I don't know. That's a tough decision considering that almost all the damage coming out of Warwick's characters right now is ranged. So
as it is now, they would have a turn to move out of the way, but you know, there's Disruptor Blade and stuff at play that could change that.
Definitely.
On the other hand, they don't have that much choice.
Yeah. Also, as of right now, since they have stayed there, not only are they, they can get hit by Disruptor Blade, but also they are in range of the totem by staying there. So stuff like Pressure Release can be used against the Berserker, which does elemental damage. So it can be a little bit rough for Cody right now. Definitely can see the utility in staying behind that half cover, though, considering how much damage that quick shot just did, which was not a lot.
Ooh. 1 HP.
Yep. Just about staying out of danger.
So it looks like bleed may mean that system overload is not going to happen, right?
I don't know if I'm following right now.
Oh no, sorry, the bleed effect's gone there. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. That procced already. Okay.
All right, getting as many combos out there, and it's gonna be enough. Knock out that Berserker before they can get one last turn in there.
GG. Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean,
Great game, guys.
you look at the result, and even though one of Oryx's characters had a lot of health remaining, that it can be deceptively close even in those
Especially against the Berserker, which
circumstances.
does a lot of damage all at once. So, you know, that could have been 1 or 2 attacks from the Berserker, all things considered.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totem damage adds up. It definitely adds up. So
Yeah, so Warwick's also had the comment of it would be nice to have passive stuff shown. So, for example, when you're picking your position, kind of showing you that you're in the threat range of a totem might be
okay.
a good point. Again, it's a question of how we do that without making it a complete mess. You know, if there's tunnel vision at play and there's totem stuff
A
at
lot
play,
of things going on.
Yeah. I think we've got time for one more.
Yeah, I think
battle,
so.
Maybe. So whoever is up for that. Maybe if Ali and Malieve want to go at it one final time.
I believe Malieve has. I think they have an arm.
Sorry, Ali and Oryx.
Yeah. Which reminds me, Jason, we should definitely try to raid Malieve this time if they are still on. Because we failed to do so last time. We forgot.
Yeah. Do I want to? Okay, I'll play. All
right, Jason, get in there.
I'll humiliate myself again. Well,
no, Jason,
any one of these people.
It's humbling yourself, not humiliating. It's fine. It's only humiliating if you have hubris going in.
True. Okay, I'm gonna drop a challenge in here and whoever feels like taking that.
Whoever clicks on it. That's our official stance.
I feel like I should be the final boss, but that really isn't the case.
It's like the extra secret final boss from post cutscene.
Okay. So Ali jumped in.
All right, here we go.
We're on an open field with a lot of falling debris.
Jeez. Okay, I was gonna say before you said debris, I was gonna say that's pretty old school, but oh, we have debris.
Interesting. We have selected the same team lineup.
All right, this is truly the final boss. It's the mirror match final boss. It's kind of like the Dark Link fight. All right, Ren.
Yeah. So I've chosen to guard my engineer while Elephant is guarding their totem.
Yes.
We've both tried to block out the middle tile, it seems like.
I'm surprised Ali does not have a custom avatars at this point. Very surprised.
True. I mean, when we do the accounting after this, they may have.
You could put it on my tab if Elephant wins here.
Yeah. Okay, that's the prize. That's the stakes here.
That's the stakes. Now, if you beat Jason here, there's your custom avatar. As soon as I say that, you get pulled into a debris.
I mean, there's debris everywhere. That was.
I know it's not.
always
It's not. Yeah, it's not an if but when type thing.
Mhm.
No pressure, Ellie. I was gonna say, if you didn't defend that character, that was a bold move right there. I would have been kind of concerned.
Why did I do that? Sorry.
I don't know, Jason. Are you throwing this one? Come on.
No, I've never thrown a battle.
You're supposed to pull the engineer.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking there. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been fine if Totem wasn't a fast character, but they are a relatively fast character, so they'll be able to move very soon. All right, let's see where this RNG goes. All right, right back. Oof. Oh no. Some tense warrior decisions right now. Naturally, Ellie would have wanted to take out character 6 right now, but focusing up is probably the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, falling into a stun module, but all right, we gotta moving that totem back around there. Not quite opportune, most opportune time to use system overload, but we'll get there. I love how the banter has ceased as the further we go into this fight.
Yeah, it's serious now. I screwed up in the opening moves there, so if I'm gonna have any chance of pulling this back.
Yeah, Allie's got 2 characters focused up right now, so we're gonna see exactly how they're gonna use this to their advantage. Characters are still relatively healthy, so they've got plenty of time to get in there. But we do see a system overload from Jason, which means that he's got 3 characters up again in a row. So a decent amount of AoE, but then again, none of those characters are particularly in the red yet. So, I mean, well, technically the health bar is red, so everybody's in the red all the time, but none of them are particularly juicy targets except for Totem right now, who's going to be in that falling debris very soon. All right, he's gonna
I'm
take
keeping
13
quiet, but
damage.
I appreciate the in the red pun. Didn't go unnoticed.
It's okay. I make jokes all the time and no one's laughed, so it's fine. There's only so many puns my partner can take, so gotta learn to laugh at your own jokes. All right, that definitely cramps Allie's style a little bit here, taking out Totem with focus on that character. So some I can't remember how that character got focus, but that was one turn that was I guess wasted now in hindsight. Thanks, Cody. I appreciate it. Someone else can take my puns. Allie's warrior definitely looking a little dangerous now, though, with that focus. Alright, we got the totem back up. Pushing over that shock module. So it looks like the warrior is going to take 4 more damage before they can move out of the way. Pulling characters everywhere now. Opens up Totem for a little bit of melee damage from the warrior, who is focused up and does have that bonus damage.
Oof.
All right. Dealing 30 damage from that attack there. Dealing some additional damage to that warrior. Jason's up to some trickery here. Delaying that turn. I think I know what's going on.
I think he may.
We're gonna go for the big finish here. If things turn out well. Oof, that's a lot of damage. That's particularly damaging to that engineer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we got a system overload there. Back down to just the warrior. Oof, 1 health. Oh, man. All right, Jason, there you go.
Honestly, I don't know how I pulled that off. That was I did not expect it to go that way.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think I kind of got lucky with the turn order there. A couple of good delay turns and things lining up with the debris.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's a really interesting layout. It becomes when there's so many falling debris and so much open space, it becomes so much about the turn order. It's really quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely. So delaying your turn can definitely help you out. in a lot of circumstances. Just kind of
Yep.
like shuffling that turn order so that the debris falls at a different time.
Yep. GG, Ali. That was fun. Uh, Personally, I'm happy for this to be the note that we wrap up the evening on.
All right, well, we got to win in there somewhere.
This makes up slightly for my performance in when Malieve ran her tournament a while back.
Oh, man.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks everyone. This was fun. I do
Yeah,
really
it's a
enjoy
lot of
this
fun.
format. We ended up having enough people to actually run a little
I mean, yeah,
bracket,
but I think this is pretty enjoyable. So everyone
Yeah.
gets their turn in the spotlight, and just about everyone gets to fight a lot of other people. So
yeah, I'm thinking of maybe making this the standard default format and making the tournaments more of an occasional,
a special occasion,
more of a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely. So, before we forget, we gotta plug a few things, and
Let's do it.
then we gotta remember to actually raid Malieve this time, who I believe is still streaming. So I gotta double check. I will make sure. But Jason, do you wanna plug a few things here?
Yeah, so if you're not already on our Discord, I'm sure most of the people here are, then that's kind of our playtesting community where we run these tournaments and we post all of our cool stuff and updates which is going on. We also have a Twitter feed where we post much of the same. So if you really want to get involved and become a playtester, the Discord is the place to go. If you just want to sit back and get the occasional cool GIF in your inbox, then Twitter's the good option. Or just follow us on both. That also works.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do these tournament and sort of development update streams. We also do a weekly coding stream. Every couple of weeks we do a kind of game night where we play an indie game and inevitably like talk about the design and spend half an hour dissecting how the main menu artwork has been put together. But that's always a fun time. And I've been speaking to Fen, who's keen on maybe doing some more art streams in the coming weeks.
Very good.
Yeah, so the art streams are probably the best way to get sneak previews about stuff, which we almost certainly shouldn't be revealing just yet, because we can't really do them without exposing a load of cool in-progress stuff. So keep an eye out for announcements about those. Both is the play indeed.
Yeah. All right. So, with that out of the way, Jason, how do we raid someone? I have no idea.
Like this. Let's go.
Nice. Cool. All right. So what do I do? Do I just end my stream and then we're good?
I've got to click a button. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. I'm clicking the right button. Bye-bye. See you next time.
See ya.